Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. We are live downtown Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. This show is brought to you by DraftKings. And the great Michael Lombardi joins the program now. His show is called Lombardi Line. You can get it at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 Pacific. Podcast is also called the GM Shuffle. One will be out a little bit later on today. Michael, good morning. It is Black Monday, so we expect chaos. 2 coaches have been canned since last night. Arthur Smith got whacked at midnight. Ron Rivera about an hour or so ago. It's 2 so far. What does that number grow to, in your opinion? And give us some names that you think are definitely going to get fired.
And then Scott Fitterer, the general manager of the Panthers, got fired also. So I think there's a lot of cleaning of the decks. Atlanta's press release on Arthur Smith was interesting because they said that Terry Fontenot will be involved, but not intimately involved in the search, which tells me I think Atlanta's going to go big game hunting. I think Atlanta's going to see what happens up in New England. There's a meeting today with Coach Belichick and Mr. Kraft and Jonathan Kraft. I expect some resolution because the way the rules are, guys, you can't really delay. It takes some time to get your next head coach, including the Raiders. So you have to interview a certain amount of minority candidates. Then you have to do the same thing when you start to hire offensive and defensive coordinators. So they have dragged this thing on where if you hesitate at all, it's going to put you behind the 8 ball. Adam Schefter keeps reporting he thinks between 9 and 10. I can't find it, but I do know Jerry Jones's comments yesterday about we'll see in the playoffs is interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tension internally in Jacksonville, right? I mean, Jacksonville underachieved. For all the talk about Peterson turning Trevor Lawrence around, that really hadn't happened if you really pay attention to it. And that team's soft. And that team is talented. So there's some disconnect between the personnel and the coaches there, which is to be expected because they underachieved so dramatically. And then the Tennessee situation. They don't want to lose Vrabel, but Vrabel has a lot of consternation within the front office set up the way it is. And, if you want to keep him, he has 2 more years on a contract. He's not going to go quietly with the way things are set up with Rand Carthon being his boss.
Oh, they closed with 2 nice wins. How about Dennis Allen with New Orleans? They missed the playoffs, but I thought it was bizarre how Winston and the team, quote, overruled him and then ran it in with the touchdown, and Allen had to apologize to Art after the game.
Yeah. I mean, look, I have no sympathy for Arthur Smith in that case. Your job is to stop him, right? I mean, seriously, we're not going to Dairy Queen after the game, right? Not everybody's going to enjoy it. This is professional football. It's your job to stop, and if they want to score, if they want to give their teammate a touchdown, which tells you how connected they are as a team, actually. I didn't think this was insubordination towards Allen. I thought this was a connectivity towards the Williams, the running back. I kind of looked at it that way. And look, I've been on the other side of this whoopings, and people didn't hold off. Nobody complained about Mike McDaniel ranking it up on Denver, did they? Did you hear Sean Payton complain about that? Did Sean Payton come out at midfield and yell at Mike McDaniels? Of course not. It's your job to stop them. If you can't stop them, you're going to look embarrassed. I think what we saw from Arthur Smith was frustration because he knew he was going to get fired.
Okay, fair enough.
He knew it was over.
Yep, well said. Belichick said earlier today in his press conference when asked about it, he would be open to relinquishing personnel control if that collectively was viewed to help the team. Do you see a scenario where that's going to happen? He steps on kind of as the GM but remains on as head coach?
I think a lot of it depends on how they set up the organization. Remember, Bill O'Brien was brought in by Robert Kraft. How is he going to be able to handle his staff? Remember, they sent out a press release on Gerard Mayo in terms of him being they've extended him to an extension. I've never seen that before in New England where they announced an assistant coach extension. So there's a lot of dynamics going on internally. And look, having worked with Bill and worked for Bill, Bill's always open to collaboration. I don't think he's ever been a dictator, but you better make sure you have enough moxie and enough knowledge to be able to answer the questions that are coming back at you. How many people in the league do you really think can do that? How many people are going to walk in there and handle that? Now, maybe if Nick Caserio goes back, he's winning in Houston. Maybe they'll reach out to Scott Pauly, who has been there before. I don't know. But I think it's going to take somebody who understands how this system works, because the one thing I do know, they're not going to change the system. They're not going to change the grading system. They're not going to change how he builds the team.
Excellent job bringing up the Jerry Jones comments, by the way, which isn't giving enough attention. McCarthy better beat the Packers. I mean, that is, we might see a change in Dallas as well. What's it like in the Jersey, Philly area with the Eagle fans? I mean,
we're going to probably need Vienna's top 50 psychologists, therapists to come over here. I mean, we just can't go to a normal group. We got to go to Vienna and get the best of the world because this is really depressing. I watched the post-game show last night with Michael Barkin, Barrett Brooks, Ron Jaworski, and Reuben Franks. And I mean, they were just killing the team. And look, I don't think they've played well. They're 1-5 over the last year. But you could see they were in full retreat mode. Like, they were in full retreat mode. One of the reasons I liked them in the Russo contest was because I knew Philly was going to retreat. I wrote a column this week, guys, about how I thought Philly was better positioned to be the 5 seed than trying to be the 2 seed. Everybody in Philly, everybody called me an idiot. Everybody said, we want a home game. We want to play in front of nobody. Of course, Bill Cowher said on TV yesterday, it doesn't matter where you play. You got to be playing good, and it matters who you play, which is true, which was the point of my column. And they've got the break of all time. I mean, they're getting to play Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield wasn't very good, scored 9 points against the Panthers. Not that the Eagles are playing well, but if the Eagles had to go face, if they had to go face the Packers right now, they'd have a hard time because they can't stop anybody. So they actually got the best seeding of it all. And they got the extra day rest to get healthy.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I think if Green Bay had to go to Philly with the way that this defense is trending, would you have any confidence whatsoever in this team slowing down or neutralizing Jordan Love in that passing? I wouldn't. Not at all.
Not a chance. No, because look, you could just see it yesterday. I mean, that game's a 17-9 game against Chicago. It's really not as close as it should have been. They mess up at the end of the half, not getting points there. They fumbled. They had a turnover. But to me, they're on a rhythm. I mean, they're throwing the ball. This Reed kid is sensational. Watson, I thought he was going to play this week. He didn't. He should play next week. This offensive line can pass protect now, and they can handle pressure. And if you try to play a man-to-man game against Love, he's going to beat you good. He's going to make a lot of good throws. Love is legit. Let's be clear. Right? Everybody, I said this at the beginning of the year, all they need is decent play from the quarterback and they can be a playoff team. Well, they got better than decent play out of their quarterback. Once the second half of the season came in, this is a very talented team. That front yesterday against Chicago dominated the line of scrimmage. And I think we put an end. I think we could have put an end now to everybody asking the ridiculous question, should the Bears draft a quarterback? I think we put an end to that yesterday if you watched that game.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah. So let's pretend for a second you're the GM of the Bears, but Washington offers you the number 2 pick this year, 2 other number 1s, and maybe something else beyond that. Are you going to stick to your guns and say we can't take that deal? We got to take Caleb Williams?
No, I think I would. I certainly would take that deal if I get Drake May. I got the second pick. Like, I'm not sure Drake May is not a great answer. We're going to watch Penix tonight. Excited to see that. So, look, here's what I do know. I don't think I'm doing anything just because of Caleb Williams. I'm doing everything to get a quarterback. And I'm not sure who that quarterback is, but I can't go. I'm not paying Justin Fields a $100 million contract or $200 million for 4 years. That's not going to happen. So I have to have a young quarterback on a rookie contract. Who that quarterback is, it's yet to be determined. It doesn't have to necessarily be Caleb Williams. I'm not sure he was the best quarterback in the Pac-12 last year. You guys think about that one for a moment.
I don't disagree. I think the last 2 years, Michael Penix has been better than Caleb Williams. I don't care about the Heisman Trophy. Said that last week.
Yep, I don't disagree. And he makes throws on the third level that is rare to find. And if you have the team, just picture Michael Penix in that Miami offense. Just picture that.
Right. Which game? I think we have. I mean, every game is intriguing this weekend. Which one are you most excited about? And do you have like an early lean in terms of a point spread or a total?
I thought, to me, I think the public's going to be all over Green Bay for how they played. I was shocked to see that Green Bay line move from 7 to 7.5. Right? And there's a lot of reasons to go both ways on that. The Ram line went right down. Now, the public play is going to be the Rams and the Packers, I think, easily here. I think Miami's a broken team. They lost Van Ginkel yesterday. Yeah. They lost a bunch of guys. I'm not saying Kansas City's any good, but Kansas City should be good. I'm actually really excited to see, can Cleveland play defense on the road like they play at home? Because if they can, they're going to be a tough out for 3 games. They're going to be hard to play if they can play that level of defense. Now, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it on the road. The Rams were able to run the football on them, so we don't know about that. I think that's going to be a fascinating game. And look, we've got really, really cold weather in Kansas City. We got this polar vortex coming across the country. It's going to be below zero in Kansas City for the night game, which will be fun to watch. And Buffalo, supposedly, there could be high of 50-mile-an-hour winds for that game predicted today. Now, we know weather changes, but that levels the playing field, and that 10-point spread could go down. It's interesting. No one, when you look at the spreads today, and Monday's a great day to look at them because it's professional money, no one's betting Detroit. Everybody's on the Rams.
Yeah. Seeing that, I saw that this could be really something with the Bills game against the Steelers. Like, if we get... The reports are right now, like that area, you can see 50-mile-an-hour winds at some point, maybe Saturday night into early Sunday morning. But if that's going to be the case and maybe like sustained winds in that range, this total is going to plummet like a rock.
Right, and it's going to reflect the 9.5, 10, whatever it is right now.
Yep.
So if you think that's going to happen, you better take Pittsburgh today and take those points, because this will be reminiscent of, remember that win game that the Patriots went in there and no one could throw the football. I think it's going to be like that if the wind is this severe.
That's exactly right, Michael. Great stuff as always. Thanks so much for the time today. We appreciate
Thanks, guys.
that. Yep.
Thank you, sir. Lombardi
line today, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific time. That's right here on VSiN, and he'll have a new podcast later on today with Femi Abemefe called GM Shuffle. So,
don't forget the Jerry Jones comments.
Oh, no, that's big.
That is enormous.
Do you think that was a mistake? Of course not.
Absolutely. We'll see how it goes, he said, in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Imagine they lose to Green Bay, first game. A great edition of Win-Lose, if I don't say so myself, coming up next. Win totals, line moves, upsets, bad beats next here on VSiN.
Last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All right, we run it down for the final time. First touchdown of the early games, the Falcons 12-1. First passing touchdown at DraftKings, Ritter 12-1. Will there be a shutout? Yes, 3-1. Carolina does it again. First team to be shut out in back-to-back games since 2008. Most passing yards, Mullins, plus 750. They did not use Saturday games. Most receiving, Jefferson, plus 550. Most rushing yards, Breece Hall, 35-1. Highest scoring game, Saints-Falcons, 10-1. Highest scoring team, Saints, 15-1. How about what happened at the end of the game? Winston, we overruled Dennis Allen, no knee. We wanted to get Williams a touchdown. And then Art Smith blows up on him, which it's like, I like what Tiki Barber said. It's the NFL. You can do what you want. Stop the other team.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And then Smith, see you later, pal.
Gone at midnight. There you go. Lowest scoring game, Bucks-Panthers, 8-1. Lowest scoring team, Carolina, 8-1. To make the playoffs before the season, Texans plus 650. Again, the division, who knows? Great job. Buccaneers were 4-1. College hoops, Southern Miss plus 275 handed James Madison their first loss. UTSA plus 320 beat Rice. Eastern Michigan 4-1 beat Kent State. Eastern Illinois plus 340 beat Little Rock. Charlotte plus 330. Come on, Florida Atlantic, get it together. George Washington plus 550 shocked VCU. LSU plus 550 beat A&M. And Cincinnati won at BYU and handed them their second loss. Cincinnati was 4-1. And Kirk was as high as 200-1 to win the Century. What a way for golf to come back. That was madness.
He was that high?
That's what Jeff Sherman tweeted.
Damn.
Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. This was sent in. Guy's playing Ultimate X, the only game in town. He gets dealt 3 aces, multipliers, and he gets 2 of them. Aces and a kicker. 3 times and 4 times. Great job. I don't know the denomination, but still, you'll take it. And that's good coin. And John Brown, who works here, does an excellent job playing at Circa, the Mega Bar. He got aces and a kicker. So there's an easy $500 for him. There's the picture. Good
Very
job,
nice.
John. He held 2. Comes ace, 3. Excellent. I talked about this earlier. Look at the division. Look at the standings. AFC North. For the first time since the 30s, the entire division had a winning record, and the Bengals get there, finally winning their first division game. Last place was 9-8, and the Steelers, figure them out, 10-7. Then you see the Browns and the Ravens. That's staggering. Even with the injuries and bad losses and quarterbacks, great job by Cincinnati too.
Well,
they still get to 9.
We thought it was going to be good. Again, in that blackjack draft that we had in August here at Circa.
Yep.
The Ravens were on the board when I was picking 10th. Could have taken them. I said, too tough. Doesn't matter. Navigated that to go 13-4.
Yeah, can't kill you. How about a couple dog videos? The dog playing Connect 4, right? He's got it. Picks up the pieces in his mouth, puts it down. Got it. Okay, you go there. All right, I'm going to throw Connect 4. There's number 2. He has it, right? And then the owner puts, now it's the dog's turn again, Connect 4. All right. Now the owner blocks him. Uh-oh, I block your Connect 4. And that
game over.
He knocks the game over with a spa. Oh, you were going to let me win? I can't win now? That's it. End the game, right? Because he thought he's going to get Connect 4, and he knocks it over with a spa. That's enough of that, right? You could see this one coming a mile away. The cat's playing with the dog. The dog just looks around. I've had enough of you, right? Here comes the left. Oh, and there he goes. Right. The cat's standing up, and he's slapping him in the face. And then the cat waits and hesitates, and the dog looks and thinks about it and goes,
"Get out of here.
I've had enough." And then he knocks him over. There you go. Excellent. Lose some. The Chargers lost 7 games by 3 points or fewer. Tied the record. I think the Oilers in 94.
Oh, I thought
what
you
a way
said,
to end the season.
I thought you would have said the Chargers from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah. 7 times? They lost
That's
by...
about right.
Oh, that's incredible. It's over. The Carolina Panthers never ran a play in the fourth quarter with the lead. The whole season. Impossible.
Oh.
I can't imagine that's happened before. And how about this? I know the Cowboys got their dynasty because of the Herschel Walker trade. But is this the worst trade in NFL history? You give up the number 1 pick next year. You got rid of a second rounder and got rid of a top 10 pick that you sold. You shipped out DJ Moore and you passed on CJ Stroud. And the Texans won the division. And okay, well, we had a bad year. Young has a lot to learn and we won 2 games. No problem. We give the first pick. No, you don't.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what the Bears can do with these picks.
Yeah, right.
Because if it turns that team into like a monster, then yes, it'll go down probably right behind or right there with the Herschel Walker trade.
Oh.
If the Bears whiff on the picks and don't make the right moves, then we'll probably forget about it in 10 years.
Bryce Young threw for 80 yards. I mean, he couldn't even throw for 200 yards combined in the last 2 games.
17 games, a full season going all the way back to September. And against the Packers defense 3 weeks ago, that was it.
Yeah.
Like that was the only time, hey, this is actually decent.
Browns-Bengals under 41 down to 37, 31-14. Dallas-Washington under 49.5 down to 46.5, 38-10. Chargers from pick up to 3.5, lost the game. Niners from 2.5 up to 6, lost the game. Bad for the books. Steelers-Ravens under 37.5 down to 34, 17-10. Great with the weather and the rain. Jets-Patriots under. Oh, look-ahead line was 38, closed 28.5. No chance. 17-3. More on the final touchdown. Bengals from 3 up to 7. Easy money. Texans +1 went off the favorite. Rams-Niners under 44 down to 40. 21-20. Eagles-Giants under 46 down to 43. 27-10. Bad beats. No touchdown in the Jets-Patriots game. It's 9-3 with 2 minutes left. Breece Hall rips off a 50-yard run. That's a vicious beat. Close 17-1 here at Circa. We'll call it 20-1. No touchdown in the game.
And evidently,
That's tough.
they didn't take a single bet in that market for that game.
On the first touchdown
First
score.
touchdown,
That's
yeah.
right, yeah. Why would you? I mean, that was awesome in the snow. The snow, the wind, those 2 pathetic offenses.
Second half total was 13.
Have you ever seen one that low? Is that the lowest you've ever seen?
I think I've seen 13 before. But,
wow.
But that went over, did it not?
No, it was 11.
Was it 11? Okay, I thought, okay.
Yeah. Vicious beat. Seattle under the win total. I mean, you need 2 Prater missed field goals, and Seattle has to score, and they have to go for 2 and get it. What happened in the last 3 minutes? Jacksonville, over 9.5. They were 8-3.
Oh,
Lost 5 of their final 6. Philly, over 11.5. They were 10-1. Lost 5 of their final 6. You can't make it up. DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code VEGAS. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
I think this is a pretty good tweet from VSiN contributor Aaron Moore. He tweeted out, tonight's college football championship game is very important for the future of the Chargers franchise. If one, or even better, both quarterbacks play well, it increases the likelihood of another quarterback going top 5 or top 10. That helps this team and their chances of increasing draft capital by trading down. For sure. Right? Like if do we really get that many? Are we going to get... Anyway.
Seems like it happens every year, though.
Well, JVT has tracked that. Jonathan Von Tobel here has tracked that since PASPA went away. I think that's been, 5 or 6 years now? Only 1 year have you lost if you bet the quarterback's under prop in the first round.
Okay.
So it goes under. But, I mean, what do they make the number this year? A flat 5? You make it, if you go 4.5, you're going to have to juice the over because there's going to be a ton of talk on Penix and also McCarthy. I mean, is there a 6th kid? Maybe you just go 5, but I don't think they want to do that. They'll probably make it if they don't want to just,
Carthy, first
give
round.
out a bunch of refunds.
Oh, I think that'd be a mistake, but
Yeah.
you never know.
I'm not. What do you think about Michigan winning between 1 and 13 points is plus 185,
What's 14 or more?
plus 190. Did they win in a blowout?
Nothing. I wouldn't fall off my chair. I don't think that'll happen. But it's just you've seen some weird results here, and since we expanded in 2014, we've always had a blowout.
Oh.
Semifinals. What was it? The average margin of victory was 19 a game. We got 2 close ones and 2 epic games, New Year's Day. So.
Right, in the last 2 times, I think, have we only had 2 times in history where that would make sense, right? Because we play more games than ever. We're 14-0, played 14-0, and it was a burial each time.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go to Houston, site of tonight's national title game. Pat Forty's going to join the program coming up next. We'll find out what he likes in this game here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. And to enjoy it even more, bet $5 on any game, get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the app now. The props are outrageous for the title game tonight. But use code VEGAS only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Code VEGAS. The crown is yours. The regular season is over. We say goodbye to Red Zone. Finally, they got the schedule right. 6 early, 7 late. But just some numbers that stick out, and you hit it earlier. 19 of the last 21 years, a team has gone worst to first. The Kansas City Chiefs are 16-1 to the under in the fourth quarter and 15-2 to the under in second halves.
Wow.
And both of them cashed again yesterday. And it's sanity. Every fourth quarter went under this year but one. And you're going to have a low total with the weather Saturday night on Peacock.
You
the only
mentioned
way to get it.
Earlier today, right away, first hour of the show, that you like the Chiefs in this game.
Yes.
Total has come down 2.5 points so far. Do you have any feeling on the? I think it's going to be 0 degrees there. Winds, 15, 20 mile an hour range potentially.
The game in Germany was wonky, where teams had issues moving the ball, but
that had a high total, had no chance to go over, and the Chiefs did get that huge gift. I think it was right before halftime, right, where Hill had the fumble.
Yeah, it was a touchdown, I think, defensive, 21-0, and then the Chiefs did nothing in the second half. I just think, rest assured, Tua will turn it over. They are not equipped, and it's not the right team, considering where they're from, to go on the road in those elements, and they're just decimated by injury. Yeah. Kansas City has a good defense, and I think they'll win a low-scoring game.
Yeah, what if Mostert's not healthy? I mean, this Achane kid is outstanding.
Yep.
but they're going to need more help than him.
You need Waddle.
And then on the flip side, Van Ginkel went down last night too. I mean, he was really struggling to get off the field. So that's now, I mean, that's the cluster injuries that we always talk about. That's Phillips, Chubb, and Van Ginkel, who are all three very good players on the edge. Well, if he can't go, I mean, it's just at some point you're so thin across the board. And I know the Chiefs it has not been pretty this year with that team.
Right.
But 3.5 here.
The drops, the turnovers, the mistakes, the horrible performance on Christmas against the Raiders.
Pauly, there's been a lot of respect for Miami in the market. I mean, think back to, well, first of all, last night, they could have won that game, but also the week before, the battle, 3.5, 4, then back to against the Ravens, best team in football. Best record anyway.
Yeah. I like the week off, too, with Kansas City, resting everybody.
Yeah, so do I.
In Miami, they did to themselves by blowing the Tennessee game, but they were in a tough spot last night. It was with all these injuries, go out, play hard, get the 2 seed. Oh, your reward's Buffalo if you win. And then if you lose, you get this. So that's what happened.
Yep.
Miami against playoff teams, 1-5, outscored by 91 points.
Oof. Yikes.
Quick look ahead. You could have Chiefs, Bills. You could have Detroit, Dallas. Oh. Baltimore, whoever. That's a good matchup.
Oh, for sure it is.
If it's Cleveland, and still the way, I know it didn't go well was his first start though in week 1, but what Houston's doing right now too, it could be a fun game.
That could be Baltimore, Cleveland. I mean, if you want to shock the world, if Pittsburgh would do that this week, you're going to get Pittsburgh at Baltimore, and maybe T.J. Watt plays then.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really see them beating Buffalo this week. Depends on how bad the weather is, though. And they're a huge dog for a reason. How about this? Sports Odds History. Great follow on Twitter at SOHistory. Tweeted out preseason odds to lead the league in certain stats. Tua, most yards passing, came in last night. He was 20-1. Most touchdowns was Dak. It was a battle with Jordan Love.
Wow.
Dak was 20-1.
That high?
Yeah. That's most INT. Sam Howell was not listed.
Oh, I thought it was Allen.
I think Sam Howell finished with 18, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Rushing, you're not going to believe this. Guess what Christian McCaffrey was at BetMGM to lead the league in rushing yards?
8-1.
30-1.
No, what?
And
30-1.
I was going back and forth with this with Weston last night. Guy in the cornfields finished third, I believe. It actually comes down to tonight, because the guy that he's tied with second with is involved in the national title game. So how impressive is that? Anyway, he reminded me, he's like, don't forget there was injury concerns with McCaffrey. But I was like, still 30-1?
Well, the two I understand. Concussions, but still.
Man.
Well, okay, so McCaffrey misses a couple games.
I never saw 30-1 on McCaffrey to lead the league. Most rushing touchdowns was 40-1. Most receiving, Hill was plus 950. I grabbed a little bit of him at 10-1 here at Circa. Right, and I bet like 4 guys. Yeah. So that one came in. Most reception, CD Lamb was 22-1.
Can I jump in quick? Huh? Can you imagine the year Jefferson would have had if he didn't miss time?
Well, look at how
look at his numbers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's putting up $170 with Nick Mullins.
Sure. I mean, if they run it all back, if Cousins comes back and he's a quarterback next year and stays, don't forget Cousins was like leading the league or right there in all these categories. Next year, Jefferson, Watt to lead the league in sacks was plus 850. Bobby Wagner to lead the league in tackles. By the way, he and Ray Lewis, the only 2 players to do it 3 times in the last 30 years, 22-1. And Bland to lead in INTs was not listed. Now let me ask you this. The Packers game against the Cowboys this weekend, special teams can be a huge factor. Aubrey, the rookie for the Cowboys, led in kicking points. He was not listed. Missed 2, though, yesterday, right?
Can you believe? Well, one was blocked. It was a jailbreak.
Sure.
The other one he missed late, and I like what McCarthy did, having him kick one with a minute left from 50.
On the flip side, this Carlson kid from Green Bay is a disaster.
Oh, he's got the yips.
So is Moody from San Francisco, by the way.
Great call. Missed an extra point. That's a problem.
And the field. They should have won the game. Could have covered the open. Yeah.
I could see that coming back to bite him.
Yeah.
I know. He's got a big leg. But the worst special teams, DVOA, is the Rams.
Yes.
And then you brought Maher in, and you got rid of the other kid. So that is something to monitor and watch with that late game Sunday. Rams are horrendous on special teams.
Yep.
Rams also averaging 30 points per game since week 10.
I will go. I did this a couple of years ago. I will go back and look again in the playoffs this week. If you are ranked dead last in special teams, I don't think a team has ever even made the Super Bowl. So forget about winning it. And I think if you're 30th, 31st, or 32nd, maybe the Saints did it one year, but remember Green Bay, I think it was 2 years ago, they had home field. They were hosting San Francisco and Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers did absolutely nothing offensively in that game. The Packers had like 2 special teams blunders, including that block punt, and that's why they lost the game outright. And they couldn't advance past the divisional round, and they lost, and they had the 32nd ranked special teams. It doesn't happen when you're that bad.
And I will look at this and do this as well. This is from our guy Ted Savansky. This only in this round, going back, you take the team that played a stronger schedule, and if there's a difference of 10 or more, it's a bigger play. And it was been the nuts. It was like 80% for a while, but things have changed the last couple of years. And then we had the expanded playoff. Just in the wild card round, you take the team that played a tougher schedule. And for years, it was gold.
Yeah.
And if there was a difference of 10 or more, it was an ATM. So that'll be something to watch and monitor as well.
Yeah, I love all these matchups. Even like the Monday night game is as poorly as the Eagles have been playing here now for a good 6-7 weeks. I'm intrigued by it because the team they easily could have, would have, should have won the Super Bowl last year, and now they are just, it's rock bottom every week. It keeps getting worse.
My worst year ever for win totals. Awful. And here's another one. I had Tampa under, and I thought Bulls wouldn't last the season. I know Randy McMichael came on and said this. He said the same thing, too, that I just thought it was going to be a horrible year for Tampa Bay, and look at this. They win the division. Now, they only won 9 games, but this is... That's why this league is, you expect the unexpected, right? Mm-hmm. What Houston did, what Tampa did. We talked about it Friday and Thursday. Houston went 26th in our draft, blackjack draft, and Tampa went 27th, 28th. You got 250 to 1 and 125 to 1 here for futures. Both are hosting games and both won divisions. So this was another great season in the drama yesterday with what happened. The San Francisco finish, the Green Bay finish, the end of the Seattle-Arizona finish.
That was so good.
7-8 games, win totals impacted by the results yesterday.
I'll give you one. The Raiders were 4-2 in their division. Remember how strong we thought the West was going to be again this year?
Yeah.
They were 4-2, and they were below 500. They went over their win total, but if you told me before the year started, clearly I would not be, because I bet under their win total. That was a big loser for me. But if you told me the Raiders would go 4-2 in their division, in that division, I would have said, okay, yeah, I'm absolutely going to bet that team to make the playoffs. Didn't happen. Did not happen. I thought the games on Saturday were...
They were good.
Compelling.
Important. Playoff spots on the line. Yeah, close.
What?
Point spread hijinks in the first game.
How about if Huntley doesn't slip and he gets sacked there?
That cost Matt Human 6 figures.
Of course it did.
He had the Ravens on both entries.
If they pick up the first down and score a touchdown, that's going to... But they did. Right. That's the thing. They made the right move. Because of how he got sacked there at the very end of that drive.
And it's a fire drill.
You had to kick the field goal and then go onside.
And the Steelers was just giving it to him, too.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
In-pocket plays. We'll recap the weekend that was for us coming up here and follow the money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
Couldn't connect with Pat 40 live from Houston, so we'll try tomorrow and recap what transpires tonight, and then the sport completely changes. And moving forward, again, this is hilarious. The national title game, Washington and Michigan. It's a conference game in 8 months. All right, here we go. As I mentioned, it was a disaster this year for win totals. Buccaneers under the win total, no good. Raiders under the win total, no good. Another team that gets there with the final win yesterday. Titans under 7.5, winner. Chiefs to win the division. Ice cream. $1.60. Couldn't believe that price. Raiders to finish in last place. Loser. Rams to make the playoffs. Yes, plus 150 when I bet that. As far as the games, week 18. Raiders laying 2.5. Easy winner. Steelers laying 3.5. They get the win and cover Saturday. Laid 4.5, 6. They also laid 7 with the Bengals. Didn't matter. No problem. Don't be a moron. Put more on it. That's 2 winners. The one loser, Patriots laying 2. It's over. Salah did it. 15 straight losses to the Patriots, and the Jets win.
Give that man an extension.
17-3. Pizza money. Corum to be MVP tonight. 4-1. And I love the Chiefs laying 3.5 on Peacock Saturday night. All the reasons I outlined. All the injuries. Can't beat a good team. And they, the schedule. It's the short week. It's the short week with travel. You're the Saturday night game. Going to be freezing. And the Chiefs are well rested, sitting everybody. Chiefs laying 3.5 Saturday night on Peacock. Everyone's going to be furious when they try to download that app and find it on Saturday night.
All right, some graded plays that came in yesterday. Rams to make the playoffs, plus 150. I bet them again at plus 240 as well. That popped. Mm-hmm. Packers to make the playoffs. That was what a roller coaster sweat that was.
Indeed it was, yes.
For 4 months. But they got there. That was plus 190. This was an in-season. I made this bet the week before the Steelers played the Cardinals. It was 9.5 over. I believe that's when I made it. Over 9.5 minus 110. Then they go out and lose at home as a 6-point favorite to Arizona. They lose at home that Thursday as a 6-point favorite to New England.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that ticket's completely dead. And then they ran the table pretty much after that, and they got the 10 wins.
I said it several times. They were going to win 10 games and make the playoffs. That was how they got there, right? Because the schedule was so easy. Once they were the smoke and mirrors job every week.
Right.
What are they now? Are they 10-3 in games Trubisky doesn't play, I think?
I'll believe anything that you throw at me with that guy. Texans to win the division was an in-season bet at 4-1. I don't think I gave out Jacksonville in pocket, but I know we definitely talked about that and said I was grabbing a piece. That was higher than what I could find here in Las Vegas, but I got a plus 880 on Jacksonville to miss yesterday. Packers over 7.5 wins, minus 120 is a winner, and Seahawks never had to sweat that one at all. Seattle over 8.5 wins, minus 140. What a crazy finish to that game yesterday.
I agree with the tweet we were seeing. That was like a 100-1 shot that came in. I mean, number one, they can run the clock out, but Arizona has to miss. Prater has to miss 2 field goals.
Why he just missed one? Why they not try to get closer?
Yeah, that was bad. And then they score the touchdown, Seattle, and they go for 2 and get it.
Bets that I had this weekend, Bengals first half minus 3. That's the way I approached that game. That was a winner. Cardinals plus a 3 was a winner.
Look at this.
Niners first half minus 2.5 was a winner. A loser that I had was Patriots money line. I did tweet this right after the show. One of our viewers said that Scott Zolak was on in Boston right after our show ended and said, guys, hold the phone. Belichick is sick. He's got to do his conference today, his call via Zoom. And a bunch of players have been infected by the flu. So I got off of that bet with the Jets yesterday. Anyway, that came after we were on the air during In Pocket. But that was a pretty good day yesterday overall.
That was fun. That was fun to watch that game.
Yeah, I loved it. I could not get enough of it.
Greg Zuerlein missed a field goal. You couldn't even find it.
You couldn't see it?
You couldn't see the ball.
No.
And it doinked. It was loud. It hit the upright. But I could not. I'm like, what happened? Because the ball disappeared because of the snow. You couldn't see it.
Did you notice with the yard markers that they never cleared off the snow? Those were like superimposed from TV.
Yeah.
That's the only way they...
You never knew where the ball was. You wouldn't know where the ball was. Right?
Yeah, before they started doing that, you had no idea. Like, are they on their own 10 or are they at the 13-yard line of the... I had no idea. And we'll go tonight, half a unit here. Michigan to win between 1 and 13 points, plus 185 in the Natty.
Start your morning with a daily dose of winning strategies, insider tips, and the latest buzz with the free VSiN daily newsletter. Today's newsletter, a great recap of all the contests and what happened to our very own Matt Humans. Expert analysis, latest odds delivered straight to your inbox, absolutely free. VSiN.com/newsletter to subscribe.
Not listed there, my win total bet on the Raiders. I think we graded that one already. If not, I had that one. I had under 6 for a big bet. And nope, they got to 8 again. So lesson learned for me next year, stay away from fading. That's 2 times. Twice in the last 3 years they've gotten me.
What Pierce went 5-1 ATS or 6-1 ATS since he took over.
So what do they do now?
Yeah. I take a shot at Harbaugh.
You have to.
Yeah. If I can't get Harbaugh, I got to keep Pierce, and all the guys played hard for him down the stretch, and the only loss was with 18. No, they got the money in that game. That's right, the Colts. But yeah, they played hard for him, no doubt. Complete opposite of what happened with McDaniels. The Saturday game was enjoyable too because of the rain and the elements there. Mm-hmm. Now, did you see Laura Rutledge, who was doing the sidelines? She bought men's gloves on accident. People were commenting, those are the biggest gloves I've ever seen. She bought men's gloves on accident. I guess it could happen. But she said something interesting. She's like, oh boy, Pickett's really being a good teammate here and helping out Rudolph. And he even at one point brought the heater over to help him out and making him warm. And that was, now wait a second. A week ago, I have a report that he refused to be the backup for the Seattle game.
Right.
He denied it. So let's calm down with he's a great are we sure? He disputes the report. But there was a report that he refused to be the backup in the Seattle game. So this is wild that they're winning games with Rudolph, and it looks like a different offense. Now, the weather had a lot to do with it, and they got conservative as well. I don't know why they didn't take shots down the field to Pickens, and they got lucky with the slant and the big play there, too, or that had 13-10 written all over it.
Pickens played the whole game pretty much. He had 0 targets in the game.
Yeah, that was
not
bizarre.
A single target.
I mean, the announcers wouldn't shut up about it either. It's like, okay, they're in the red zone trying to ice the game, and they're still talking about it.
Also, did you during the Patriots game yesterday, Jen Hale was doing sidelines. She's really, really good. It was so cold that it was like she was like from a movie. The way that she was trying to talk, and her you could just tell like her teeth were chattering, and her face was almost frozen to the point of where it was difficult to actually.
Oh, I bet.
I'm like, okay,
that's a tough assignment.
Really difficult, yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah.
And Saturday was phenomenal. I liked your tweet as well. Jonathan Taylor has got to take some abuse here.
Oh, has to.
Running out of bounds, and he could have got the first down on second down, which he didn't get the first down because he took the easy way out and ran out of bounds instead of putting his shoulder down and getting the first down, which then became second and short, which became 3rd and 1. Excuse me, it was on second down.
Yeah.
So that became 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, which led to 4th and 1, and then out of the game, and then they throw it, and he drops it. Goodson.
I can't believe that he went out of bounds
twice.
The first time.
And you got to get the clock moving.
The second time, forget about it. I almost lost my mind. Also, I'm betting the Colts live, and that was a big loser for me over the weekend.
Yep.
Why he elected to go out of bounds on the second down play rather than just saying, no, I have one guy like in front of me. I can put my head down. I can probably clear this and get 2 more yards and keep the clock running, and then you maybe get a first down. That he did the worst case scenario on both plays by going out of bounds twice.
Ridiculous. Make Houston burn their timeouts.
Oh, that was so bad.
And then score, and I know Steichen was playing it like we don't want to give Stroud time, but you cannot take the time out there.
No,
the game's over then if you don't convert on 4th down.
Hey,
terrible.
You brought up something that was really got me thinking of next year. In college football around the same time.
Oh, yes.
We're going to get these games played at home stadiums, right?
Enjoy it, SEC. You're going to have to play in cold weather.
Can we get some rain? Can we get some snow maybe like in December and whenever they're going to be played?
Please, I make it the favorite. With the opening round, with the first round of the playoffs on campus sites, the first playoff game is Friday, December 20th.
Yeah.
Then they play the next 3 games Friday, December 21st.
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah.
Please,
Those are on campus sites.
Yeah. I would nothing more than a college football playoff game with 6 inches of snow.
Oh, Old Miss has to go to the big house, and it's 8 degrees.
Well, maybe not Ole Miss. I got a future on them. I bet them next year. Maybe somebody else.
LSU then, fine.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
What a weekend, though. What a day yesterday was. Man, I love Week 18 in the NFL. So good. If you miss any of today's show, you can go back and search Follow the Money wherever you get any of your podcasts. And by the way, VSiN.com is the spot. So much great content up every single day, including for tonight's national title game. Good luck with the bets.